Good night, good night, good night, good night. Good night to the females that watch the show, and good night to the gentle G's that tune into the show. We're here once again tonight, and you know that over the past, what, 2 days? Well, yesterday, and you know that today, we have been doing the Sports Frenzy Analyst of the Year, Moments of the Year, and tonight we're also going to look back at the 20 EPL clubs and see what all they have done so far throughout the season and what they need to do in the January transfer window, and if we need to revise our initial predictions that we made early out. So again, I'm just going to say it. Call in and vote for your favorite analyst. The analyst that I thought was the best throughout this year. And as you can see on the screen, I have Devin with me. I'll soon be joined by Ryan and also Kims. And as it stands right now, Kims is out front on 5 votes. Shakes is in second place on 3 votes. Then you have the man himself, the man who called the doctor. Well, I personally call him the doctor. The producer called him the doctor. Talking about Devin.
Oh, I get a vote.
Of course, man, Kim's calling a vote for him, and Kim said, "I have to give it to Devin, man, cause Devin depend every possible show I can think of that to keep. If I cricket, Devin did it.
Yeah.
If I track and field, Devin did it. Any sport that it is, Devin is here. Man say, yo, even when we can't host the show, a Devin that did it. So I have to give a vote to Devin. So of course they got a vote. And then we
I'm
have,
never know we could have vote.
yeah man, and then we have Rowan who is on 1. I see Lata in the comment section. Good night, Lata. And Ryan wanted to vote for himself, but I told Ryan that it's not possible. We don't do those type of things around here. But that is slated to be very interesting, and I'm just
zero or negative.
You know that I'll probably be kind tonight and just give all of the analysts a vote though. Like just I don't want anybody to finish on 0, so I might just be kind enough to just give all of you a vote. But tonight is slated to be interesting because, as I said, tonight is the final night of it that will crown the Sports Frenzy Analyst of the Year. And again, as you can see on the screen, the number to call is 876-919-5816. But we're backstage. We're just talking about Leicester a bit, and we can just touch on that game because they played against Liverpool in the EFL Cup earlier on today. Leicester jumped out front, were leading by 3 goals to 1. But boy, Brendan Rodgers and his choking was once again at the forefront. And Devin, you for one, when you look at this Leicester team, I mean, that James Madison goal was a peach of a goal,
Yeah.
I have to give that. But this is something that has constantly plagued Brendan Rodgers when you put him into the managers category in terms of being discussed as a top manager. And boy, once again, it was on show today. What do you have to say about that?
Because he was up like 2-0 and then Liverpool never have the strongest team initially, right? And they're up 2-0 and then they come back in the game. Somehow, like, basically I stopped watching the game, then I realized the game was at 3-3. Now, like, you're up 2-0 on a team, didn't have the strongest team start. You have to finish off the game. You can't let them back in the game. So, and then it's like a consistent thing with Rodgers, like, letting back team. And it went down to the penalty. Somehow, I don't know if they were nervous or something, went to sudden death because they missed one, Liverpool missed one, and I don't know, it's just not happening for them. I don't know if it's a change of coach. I don't know if they need a different voice in the locker room, but they're consistently showing that they are the chokers. People are always saying Brendan Rodgers are chokers, but he's proving it. Like, there's no way you should not win that game. Up 2-0. Some people used to say, I remember, well, I don't know if it's him, Bertie Smear first saying that 2-0 is one of the worst lead to have. I don't know what's the theory behind it.
Like, because when you give up one, you become nervous to give up the other, as opposed to when you're 1-0 up, you're more cautious.
Yeah, I'm going to break you guys for a minute because we have a call online. So good night, Sir Don.
Yes, greetings, yes. Calling in to vote for Kims as analyst for the year. It really doesn't have much. Well, really and truly, if I'm honest, it's more like a People's Choice Award because there's not much analysis from time to time, but he gets the people engaged, and there are, at times when, he is able to give some good points on a number of topics. So on that basis, I'll give him the vote as Analyst of the Year.
All right, your sporting moment, and I know that you have quite a few up your sleeve. Well, that is if you're wearing a sleeve.
I'm sure Dimo told you to say that. it has to be ET. Has to be ET. Doing the double and just having a magnificent season. She's really gone through a lot of struggles. We have persons calling her ordinary terrestrial, persons saying she's done and all of that, and the fact that she was able to rise above all of that and, set down such a legendary marker, for me, it has to be her for the sporting moment.
All right, say no more. Continue supporting it as I know you have been doing from the moment we started, because I know that you're one of the biggest fan of us. Long time you've been telling us that we should do some sports.
Which call is it?
The man himself, man, Wally West.
Most man.
The voice sound familiar.
Okay. Cam Newton, that man. Cam Newton.
All right, big up yourself, Cam Newton.
All
right, fam. But as we were talking about Leicester, and here's Michelle saying it too, that 2-0 is the worst lead to have because you're comfortable enough to get lax in defense, but the lead is not too big to overcome.
Okay, so I guess, yeah.
But Ryan, I look at the team, and I mean, you could possibly see that they tried different things today because they started Vardy up top along with Daka. I mean, it's a cup yet, but there's no way you're up by 3. Well, first you were up 2-0. Then you were up by 3 goals to 1, playing against some kids because Liverpool started like around 3 kids, I believe. And then end up conceding a 95th minute equalizer, then to lose out on penalty. You have to say about Brendan.
He is a choker, no doubt. I think, he has won a few cups in Scotland, and he also won the FA Cup last year. But outside of that, he does choke. There's no going around that. However, as it pertains to Leicester, where this is, apart from the one season when they won that trophy, this is their best spell as a big team. Like, they have had like 3 maybe 2, if this depends how this year finish, maybe might make 3 consecutive years where they are up there. But outside of this year, they have had 2 solid seasons. Do you get rid of Rodgers and risk going back to Claude Puel style of football and finishing in the table? Or do you keep Rodgers, come maybe 6th, 7th or something, and try to go after a cup or 2, or go back for a Europa spot or something? Because this is the best it has been for them in years, apart from that 1 year that they have won it. So I don't think Leicester are in a position to fire Rodgers, because where do you go from there? You may go down from there, as we have seen with Puel and Appleton and them kind of coaches there. So, and Shakespeare, I think his name was. And so, what Leicester have to outline their ambitions in terms of where they expect to finish, because they can maybe try things and then end up becoming Everton, where they throw everything and nothing stick. So, if I were them, I'd keep Rodgers though, based on the fact that you know that you might make the change and then you start to slide on the table. They don't want that.
Okay.
At least they know that Rodgers has finished. in a top 4 position before in the league and almost won the trophy.
Facts. Here's Jason saying that this is Liverpool's first semi-final in the League Cup in the last 5 years. Yeah, it was. Congrats
And
to them.
that's cool. We know Klopp don't like that cup. Klopp is like him try. As fast as him going, him try to come out.
Yep. But this time around, it seems like his mind is made up that he's trying to win this because he made some changes to actually win the game, and they did work somewhat. You guys can continue talking about the game itself.
Oh, I didn't know it. Just a shootout or so I can't speak to the.
But all right, you look at the rest of teams now, and you look at like your team Chelsea. They won 2-0 today. What do you have to say about it, Ryan?
Well, we all know that Brentford play what they play. They're going to come at you, and then if they can't get to you attacking, then they will try and stifle you and try hit you on the counter, which is what they tried today. It didn't work out. Unfortunately for them, they gave up own goal, which was a very good finish. I thought it was a strikeout finish. That it was a proper finish, right in the roof. Yeah, so we created chances. We tried to break them down at times, and they were compact because they match us up. Well, or we match them up, whichever way, because it's basically two teams play the same formation. Be that as it may. But yeah, they are a hard team to break down. They are solid. They come at you. They press you in midfield and those things. So you basically have to be patient with a team like that. And that second goal for the penalty, Pulisic is really quick because I thought the goalkeeper got there before, based on how the pass was made, and he had to make up a lot of ground. And when I saw him went down, I said, "Why is that a penalty?" And then I realized that the keeper actually caught him because I was surprised that he actually reached the ball first.
Okay.
And yeah, so that was a good ball to win the penalty. Yeah, I think we deserve it more than Brentford though in overall play.
So we
I
have
think
another
the
caller.
female matched the game itself.
Okay, we have another caller, and then caller, go ahead. With this Anthony Butler, go ahead. Caller. Caller seemingly not paying attention. But yeah, I thought you guys, based on how you guys played, I could say yeah, Chelsea deserving a victory, knowing that you started with some youth up top, and it was good to see that Tuchel actually tried something different because you know that over the past couple of weeks he has been sticking with the same first 11 and all of that, and well, not necessarily the same first 11, but in terms of his style of play and the transition has been the same. So it was a good win for you guys. But another team, Tottenham, they got a 2-1 victory over West Ham, and we're now joined by the man who is currently leading the voting standings. Man call himself your favorite analyst. Kim Tottenham. I know
Yo,
that they don't like Conte, but boy, they have been playing so decent over the past couple of games. We have seen them against Liverpool and now against West Ham. They did quite decent. So I have to say.
well, when you say decent, do you mean decent in terms of result or decent in terms of playing? Because
Players, because even against Liverpool, remember that they created a lot of opportunities now. It's just because of faulty finishing. So yeah, based on how
but
they're playing decent.
all right. So to be honest with you, obviously they have been playing better. However, the standard that was there before, I don't think they could have played worse than how they were playing before. Like, I don't think they could have played worse. So the only way was up. But I still have to give credit where credit is due. And obviously, he's doing a decent job with Spurs. But what I will say about Spurs though, the objective is not the EFL Cup. The objective is not the EFL Cup to win the EFL Cup. The objective is to win the top four. To make it to the top four. Yeah, ultimately challenge for the title, because I hear that again. I've said this many times. I hear that this is a brand name coach. I hear that he's a top 3 coach in the league, probably top 4, depending on who you ask. So, EFL Cup success, I hear say, depending on who win the trophy, I hear say it's a joke cup. So if Arsenal win, it's a joke cup. But if Chelsea win, it's a big cup. But all in all, good performance. All in all, good performance, and hopefully we can see what they can do against Chelsea. I think they'll beat Chelsea though, because I think they and Chelsea on the same level. So I think they'll beat Chelsea.
So why you jumping the gun so quick? But
sorry.
let's move on a bit. So as I mentioned a little about the show, and I encourage you guys to keep on calling and vote for your favorite analyst. So look at the EPL table as it currently stands, and at the foot of the table you have Norwich. All right, let me see. Should I start with them or start at the top? Because both of them are kind of interesting. So here what, we're going to start at the top. Man City, they are currently out front on 44 points from 18 games. They have scored 44 goals and they have conceded 9. Now, you look at this team and you know that Ferran Torres is slated to move to Barcelona come January. Now we know that they've been linked with Dusan Vlahovic from about last season. So it's possible that they're going to sign him as a replacement or probably wait until summer to sign Erling Haaland. We don't know. But when I look at the City team, I'm going to start with Devin on this one.
Yeah.
When you see the City team, what you think they're missing? Because at this point in time, the man are playing without striker and yet they're doing so good. So do you think they actually miss anything right now?
Well, overall, I see them. They're playing good. They're scoring goals. I still think they need like a pure striker. Jesus is there. Jesus is there. Whatever you want to pronounce it, you can pronounce it Jesus or Jesus. But he's not as clinical as you'd want him to be. So I think probably they would need like an out and out striker. I know they're getting goals from everywhere else, but I think at some point they may need an out and out striker. But prior to like when we had the podcast just before the start of the season, I said that no matter what City will do because they have the good coach and they have a good squad. So all that with that being said, they have a deep squad and they're just gonna go away and win the league. No matter who is second, third, Chelsea, I'm not Chelsea. Liverpool is coming up. You are crowning Chelsea champions elect, but City will still go ahead and win this title. And their midfield is good. Sometimes Kevin De Bruyne was out for a period of time, and then Silva stepped in. That other players step in and are just carrying the team. So it's just a strong team.
All right, so we have a call online, and I believe this is Tyrese, who's a City fan. Tyrese, first up, who's your sports Frenzzyy analyst of the year? So you prefer Ryan analysis?
Yeah, man, Ryan, so more balance than everybody else. And my sports, what is it, moment of the year?
Yeah.
So that would be City going to the Champions League, our first Champions League final. Yeah, so that would be my moment of the year.
All right, and since we're on the topic of your team, I know that Ferran Torres is probably out through the door already. If you were supposed to make one pick between Dusan Vlahovic and Erling Haaland, who would it be?
Boy. Vlahovic, because Vlahovic link-up play is, to me, his link-up play is better than Haaland, and I think that would suit him. Haaland, to me, is more like a box to box, like he's around the 18-yard box, and Vlahovic to me would suit him more because he can drift into the midfield, put some ball over, do some 1-2 with the line, and to me, Vlahovic suits City more than Haaland. But if City get Haaland, I'm fine with that.
Yes, every team have a kiss Premier League goodbye once and get either of them.
Well, So basically, because if we get Vlahovic about 40 goals per season, so that's an easy 1, 2, 3. All the problem is that if we get Vlahovic, we can turn up in the Champions League. Yeah.
All right.
Because that's the big stage for everyone.
All right, that's your word from. Big up for the call and continue supporting Sports Frenzzyy.
Yeah, that's right.
So Ryan, you see that you never have to vote for yourself. You're off the mark. But you're going to move on and look forward to our next team now.
Oh, can I just say something? Can I just say something about City?
Sure.
Two things, brother. I was watching a sports channel today, and they were talking about stats, some myth and stats, and they were saying like Grealish. Grealish is not as bad as people making him out to be because he has the most carries into the box in the world, and his XG is very good. If there was a number 9, Grealish expected assists would have been way more than it is, because when you really watch City, they miss it. Grealish get a lot of chance and they miss it, So I can understand where you're coming from with the XG and all of that, and he really does have a lot of carries into the box where he was doing the same thing as at Villa and was getting lauded for it. But now at a City team, he's now a small fish in a big pond, so it looked like he's not performing to the optimum. There was also Vlahovic was also on it, and they were saying that Vlahovic, when you look at the stats, they were basically saying he's not as clinical as stats making him out to be, because a lot of his goals are penalty goals. I think they say like double digits. And he does, in terms of shots, in terms of Haaland and those other players, his contemporaries, he does not have that amount of shots. Maybe it's the league that he plays in, don't know. But yeah, they were just using the stats to justify something. So something to look at.
All right, Kims, as it pertains to you, do you think that City necessarily need a striker, or think that it's much to do and nothing about?
All right, so need a striker. I'd say probably in the Champions League, right? I'd say probably for the Champions League they're going to need a striker, because we have seen City run rings. If we're gonna be honest, City has run rings around the Premier League. With a striker, without a striker, whatever it is. So I don't think they necessarily need a striker for the Premier League, but I believe the Champions League has been a kryptonite for Pep. I think the Champions League has been a kryptonite for Pep. And I believe if they had a striker against Chelsea in that Champions League, like an out-and-out striker, I think they would have won that. I think they would have won that Champions League. So I just believe that, for the Champions League itself, for the knockout competition, I definitely think they need a striker. But let me say this about City, right? And, this go for English teams and a whole. And I've always said this, and I've always basically lived by it when I'm judging sporting teams. And I say, it's not how good you are at your best, right? But how bad you are at your worst, right? Because if we take a look at it, right, and let us look at Chelsea over the last couple of weeks. Chelsea, if we'll be honest, those teams that Chelsea draw with or lose to, Chelsea really and truly not supposed to have dropped points to them team, right? But then, if you look on a City per se, but I remember, I would say City play again where them win 1-0 the other day.
They won 1-0 against Wolves, as I can remember.
All right, so just like that. I think they get the penalty was Sterling did score.
Yep.
That was against Wolves?
Yep.
All right. Yeah. But in a game like that, right? Same thing with Liverpool. When they are at their worst, not bad as Chelsea at their worst. And as a result of that, it is showed in the standings, right? So, when I look at that, that is one of the reasons why I say, I can't say Chelsea, because in the Premier League, you're going to have the little roller coaster. There's going to be a time where there's going to be a dip in form. Whether it be to injuries, whether it be to COVID right now, or whether it just be to, the duration of the season. So I just believe that, right now, City, is the team to beat, and I just don't see anybody. Probably Liverpool is right under them, but apart from those two, I don't see anybody who can do a realistic challenge to those teams because I honestly, like, may I try to look on the fixtures. I don't see City slowing down. Cause remember, Liverpool have, Salah, Mane, them are going, so you expect them to drop off a little bit. But I'm not saying nothing will ever happen to City where I can say unless them get injuries or unless them get a little COVID scare or whatever. But apart from that, City title to lose.
Would you agree that City and Liverpool are the two most seasoned teams in the league they are at their optimum now in terms of their top players are at the side?
I would say that, yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
Whereas Chelsea has a lot more to go in terms of the young players. They don't reach peak yet. Whereas Liverpool and City, most of their top players are at their peak.
Yeah, I mean,
Alright, so
I
hold
can
on a
agree.
second, Kim. We have another call online. Good night.
Good night.
So with whom I'm speaking?
T. Wilson.
Okay, good night, T. What are you voting for your sports analyst of the year?
Thames.
And why are you voting for Kims? Did Kims tell you to vote for him?
No.
Just messing with you. But your sporting moment of the year, what has been the standout moment for you?
Just Shelly's overall progress throughout the season.
Yes, I love what you saw from Sharika.
Yeah.
All right, no problem. Continue supporting Sports Frenzzyy and ensure that you come and comment on the video more because we need to see more of you on the videos.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Who that, Jenna?
Her name is T. Waysome.
Big up
Who?
yourself. Big up yourself.
I know that she watches the show because she was one of the first person to reach out to us in regards to the merch. So yeah, I can tell that she watches the show a lot.
All right, big up yourself, Empress. Yeah,
Like
but
Ryan, what you say? City and Liverpool may fall off, and then Chelsea gonna get better.
no. What?
No,
what
I'm not exactly
trying to
saying
say,
that. No, it stemmed from what Kem said that he does not see Chelsea at this time. So I'm just trying to see if he must go and contradict himself. And I said no. But
when Ryan asks question, him always have some motive behind it.
exactly.
But here's Michelle saying that, but going by your example, Kims, Chelsea at their worst is drawing, not losing. Maybe you should use another team for the analogy or just go back to your relationship analogy.
No, Michelle. But the thing is, Michelle, I missed the point for me. I say no. I'm comparing the three teams, but I compare all 20 teams in the EPL. I compare the three teams. So, Liverpool at their worst is still winning. At their worst is still winning. Chelsea at their worst is drawing. So they're getting 3 points. Chelsea get 1. Hence, we start to see the movement in the table. So that is the point I'm making.
But Kims, this is another question for you. We're just diverging a little bit. Here is Albert asking, I want to know why Kims divorced Elaine.
You want me to answer that right now? All right.
You can go ahead.
So I'm gonna tell you about Elaine, right?
We're not hearing you.
Yeah, you hear me now?
Yeah.
No.
You answer then if you not hear me. Oh no. But hey, he's a very appreciative you, right? And I never really like how she dealt with the situation when she talk about she bigger than MVP now and all of them because somebody an MVP can't not fair and all that. I never really liked that. And she seems a little bit unstable right now. It's still I support, but the wife and all of them little analogy there and all of them little love there, all of that gone, and I'm gonna put that one side. So I'm still my athlete, I'm a supporter. But I just never like what she did with after field issues. I expected better from her, especially being a champion, especially being right now, me I try to get a doctorate. She gets an honorary doctorate. So me I expect you to act accordingly. And she just there's just a mismatch there. So I just remove myself from that situation, just for my mental health, for my mental space, and for my emotional wellness.
All right, so here's Jason saying that that's not true, brother. In City and Liverpool games, they have won. It really didn't represent them at their worst. So, Jason, in that game that City played against Hull City, were absolutely trash. City weren't good in that game. As it pertains to Liverpool, I can say yeah, Liverpool were the better team in that game, just that they were faulty
All
in
right,
finishing. And even if they're faulty in finishing, that means that they are being having an off day.
Hello
So,
now, yeah.
it's all
exactly,
right.
exactly. Hold on, 11. Really quickly, let me respond to you. All right, Jason. I don't want you to take it out of context. When I say worse, I don't mean like the worst possible thing what can happen. That's not what I mean by worse in this case. I
When you're
just mean
struggling.
when they're pretty
Yeah.
much when they are struggling, when they're not play at the level that we are used to you playing at.
All right. So now we're going to look at Liverpool. They are on 41 points. They have scored 50 goals and have conceded 15. And they have also played 18 games. Now we look at them and they have done well so far. And yes, they have faced injuries here and there. But when I look at them now, Ryan, well, let me see. I'm not going to say Ryan. I'm going to give it to Kims. Kims, what do you say Liverpool missing right now? With it in mind that players like Salah, Naby Keita, Sadio Mane, and those guys are going off to play in the African qualifiers.
Um, what I would really say Liverpool missing right now is what would I say? With if
Nothing.
I hold on.
They're really missing nothing.
No, hold on.
Focus, man.
What else do you say?
Focus.
Oh, focus. Yeah. No, yeah, they're missing something around because come on, you see, anytime you lose two, and I'm going to use the word superstar. Anytime you're missing two superstar players, you're
Oh,
going to be
he
replaced.
said right now. I thought he meant as in this at this
No,
moment when
no, man, because
January.
him said that
All right, so here what we're
Salah,
doing.
Mane, and Liam.
What we're trying to do now is that we're looking at right now and into January because basically what we're doing is trying to revisit our earlier predictions that we made earlier this season. That is what I'm trying to get at. Since as we are
Right,
basically half of the
right now,
season,
let me
not
tell you.
necessarily half of the season, but close to half of the season has been played.
Yeah.
Right now, let me tell you what me think Liverpool missing. Me think Liverpool missing a sturdy midfielder and backup Van Dijk. Konate, Demo came and he raved about him, but for me personally, I am not impressed. Him come out and him say, "Oh, he thought that Christie would have been better than what he was," blah 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 blah, all of that good stuff. But I think they need a backup for Van Dijk because if Van Dijk was out the game against Spurs and it was hell and powder house back there, So I think they need a good backup for either Van Dijk or Matip when one of them out, but preferably Van Dijk. I think they need another midfielder in there. That's what they need right now. I think they need another midfielder in there right now. In terms of in January, obviously, it's I not really have to say it. In January, them are gonna need a backup for Salah. Them have Klochigi, as Demo call him. Them have Klochigi. Them have Firmino, Jota. But I just don't think that that firepower is going to be the same with Salah and Mane out. I think the goals that they score are going to be less. The clutch performance is going to be a little bit less. So I think that's what they need. But right now, Liverpool the second best team right now. I still think City. I think City edged them, but I think they need another midfielder, and I think they need a real backup for Van Dijk.
All right, so here's Owen Adlam, a Liverpool supporter, saying that Liverpool will be okay. Salah, Mane, Keita will only miss 2 EPL games, and those are against Palace and Brentford. No, Ryan, I can go ahead.
No. Oh,
All right.
sorry.
As it relates to the backup for Van Dijk. At Van Dijk's best, Joe Gomez was beside him,
Yep.
and I know Demo said that Matip is a top 5 defender in the league, which is not true. I think Joe Gomez is actually their second best defender
You're wrong,
because
though.
we have seen.
You're wrong,
Huh?
you're wrong, Ryan. Another man said, man. The man said, man is easily top 5. You have to put the emphasis like Odimo said, you know.
Yeah, so I think when Gomez is fit and in form, he is their second best defender. He just cannot stay fit. That is his biggest problem. So once Gomez is fit and in form, because we have seen him fit and in form, and he was the perfect foil for Van Dijk because when Trent make him adventurous runs, he's the one there covering, and he's very quick. He covers the space very well and all of that. I don't think I know Kanate is good, but I don't think he's as good yet as a lot of people make him out to be. He's not that level yet. We have seen Gomez win a Premier League title. So I think he just needs to get form and get fit. I feel like Gerrard want him. If Gerrard get him, he will find a way to get him to that level that he once was. He has gotten injured again recently and just came back from that injury. So he has now become the fourth choice centre back when he was actually the second choice. Well, the top two choice when Liverpool was winning things. So he just need to get back fit and they will be okay. Midfield, I'm not so certain. Maybe they'll lose a Wijnaldum type of person in the midfield. Apart from that, I don't think it's a big drop off because I realize that Henderson is now back in form and he's playing a little bit different than the Henderson that we were used to in terms of getting up and down, up and down. I don't know if it's because he's 31 now at age, catching up with them and all of those things. He's more spreading the passes as opposed to being the type of midfielders Klopp love. The up and down, box to box kind of thing. Yeah, man. The high energy type of thing. He's now playing more within himself right now. I don't know if, as I say, I don't know if it's the age and he's trying to conserve on himself. So I think they will be okay. And Martin seems like he's a good enough cover. He's not going to be as good as a Fabinho, obviously, or because Fabinho don't really stay fit again either. But he will get there. I see him have some passes in him. So let us see. But yeah, they will definitely two, even if it's one game or two game, you don't want to drop any points right now. And Liverpool will definitely drop down a notch with the loss of those critical players.
All right, Kims, you have anything else to say?
Yeah, put up Adlam comment there.
Adlam?
The one I am say will be okay.
This one?
All right. Yeah. All right. So touch on it a little bit, What he's saying that Liverpool are go finishing at the top four and so. But the competition Liverpool is going against right now is basically Manchester City. So they're playing against Palace and Brentford. Let's say they get 4 points from those two games, right? And City get 6 points with the lead where City have already. So remember, at the momentum we're talking about, if City continue to stretch that lead, it has been proven in past seasons that hey, when City stretch that lead, and nothing feel come back easily. So that is what I'm talking about when I say, with Salah and Mane going out, it's gonna be really tough for Liverpool. Especially if, say for example, them go against a Crystal Palace or a Brentford with us lock the shop. Just sit back and just lock the shop. Normally we know Mane, Salah can have the key and open the door. But who else have the key and open the door now? For me, Jota, we see him miss some easy chances. Clochigi, you need somebody to give him the ball. So, like, those are the things I'm looking at and I'm saying, it would be a challenge for Liverpool. But Klopp is a great coach.
Guess what also, Kims, that he never factored in? Remember that COVID is sweeping through England, so you have to factor in that as well.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Imagine you lose that. Sorry.
Go ahead, man.
No, I'm saying imagine you lose Salah and Mane gone, but then you lose a Firmino and a Jota.
Correct.
You're in trouble.
So here's Jason saying that majority of Liverpool key players are either almost 30 or over 30. Rebuild incoming. That rebuild not happening until Gerrard get the reins. So until then, Liverpool will just go where they are, and Klopp will continue to work his magic with this average team. But let's move on. Next in line is Chelsea, who have played 18 games and they are 38 points. They have scored 39. They have conceded 12. Right now, look at your team now. What would you say your team is missing? Because you spent over $100 million on big striker Lukaku, and it hasn't he hasn't repaid the dollars as yet because of injuries and because of poor utilization and for whatever it is. You have Timo Werner who of late that man can't stay fit, even though I think he's been played out of position. Kims and I come on here multiple times and said that Werner is best suited when he plays out wide. But based on the system that Tuchel employs, that he won't really strive in the system. But you look at the team. What would you say your team is missing right now?
We're missing our players. The ones that are supposed to start are missing. They're constantly injured or catch COVID or whatever it is. So the rotation, when they are there, the rotation has been good. It's just that for the last month or two, the players that are supposed to, the players that would normally make the starting level, at least half of them are out for some reason. Kante, Kovacic, Lukaku was out for like 2 months, 3 months, whatever it was. Chilwell is now out. So these things, regardless of the team that you are, these things are going to affect you. I do agree with Kems though that we have dropped some points that we were not supposed to have dropped. And when you are and I also agree that when you are not playing your best, you should try to find a way to win. I said it again with the Leeds match that I liked how we found a way to win, even though we weren't playing our best. Those are the type of ways you need to win games if you're going to challenge for a title. You have to find a way to win. Because at the end of the day, a draw is going to be 1 point. There's not going to be an asterisk beside it and say, oh, you had 70% of possession and you had 20 shot at goal. That don't give you an extra half a point or extra point. So you have to get the 3 points. So yeah, we need to find ways to win games that we are struggling in, regardless of the fact that injuries happen and whatever else. If you're going to challenge for a title, there are going to be hurdles, and you have to find a way to overcome those hurdles. And we have not done that over the last month or two. And as such, we have dropped points, and we are now 6 points behind the leaders, which is not insurmountable, but you don't want to be 6 points behind the leaders with half of the season gone. So if we can get back the players fit and then again, even if we get them back fit, we're going to lose them to African Cup. But yeah, let us say February come around and everybody's fit and playing properly and rotating, then hopefully we are still within touching distance so we can see what happened from there. But as I said, with City 6 points ahead, it is a difficult makeup right now as far as I'm concerned. Not because it is insurmountable, but because it is City and they're playing very well.
All right, so I'm going to read this comment from Aldan, then I have a question for you. So here's Aldan saying that Tuchel is a defensive coach, can't get the best out of our attacking players, even if everyone back, our attacking unit is not playing up to expectations. Tactics is part of the problem. I agree with that. My question to you. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Well, all right. Tuchel at Dortmund and PSG was not a defensive coach. Tuchel at Chelsea, for some reason, is a defensive coach. I don't know why. He said his wing backs are midfielders. They play like midfielders, which is true. But we're getting goals from all over the field. But we need to get goals. We need to have a source, a main source, regardless that you're getting goals from all over the field. It's the same thing with City. They're getting goals all over the field, but they need to have a main source. That you know that person is guaranteed 25 to 30 goals a season in our competitions at least. So I don't think we have that, and that is going to be a problem if Lukaku is not going to get the goals them for you this season. So,
Calvert Broja. But the question
so, yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
No, I think that is our biggest problem right now in terms of. I don't think the younger players like the Mount and they are not clinical. They are getting the goals, but they're not clinical. The younger players, the Havertz. If you play Havertz as a number 9, you're not going to get more than 15 goals a season from him if you're lucky. So they will create the chances, but they are not clinical. And you need somebody in the number 9 position who's clinical.
All right.
And
So
that is
the question that I want to ask is, which of these two guys would you say is a bigger miss for Chelsea? Ben Chilwell or N'Golo Kante?
we were doing well without Kante. And then when Chilwell went, the system went. It's clear to see that it went because Hudson-Odoi was, and Chilwell had a partnership. Hudson-Odoi got like 6 starts on a trot, I think it was. And he and Chilwell developed a partnership, whereas it seems as if Alonso was getting in Hudson-Odoi's way. They were not clicking together on the left side of it. And then Hudson-Odoi went down, and then it got worse. And Alonso is an average player at best. He's going to take a few shots and maybe one of them sneak in, but outside of that, he's an average player. That is just the truth. Chilwell, in the midfield, we had players who could step up when Kante went down, which has to be done because Kante is almost 31 right now, and we kind of need to have other people stepping up. Kovacic went down. Kovacic went down, and we still maintained a good playing pattern once Chilwell was there. So I think Chilwell has been the bigger miss this season.
Okay. Elton Gardner, Aldan, Jason, we are waiting on your calls to call and vote for your favorite Sports Frenzzyy analyst of the year so far. So we're waiting on those calls. So I don't want you guys just to be there commenting. I need you to call in and vote. But Kems already said what he had to say about Chelsea, that Chelsea needs someone that will find the back of the net, and currently they don't have that source because Lukaku is just not it.
So my thing is I only hear say Tuchel is a defensive coach when the team start underperforming. Last season, and I'm not saying he's not, right? But it's just funny how these things just come out when the losing or the drawing or the not winning, show its ugly head. Because last season when Chelsea win the Champions League and everybody was celebrating and we are the champions of Europe, I never heard anybody saying Tuchel. I never heard anybody saying Tuchel is a defensive coach and he's this and he's that. So Ryan, my question to you is that when did you discover that he was a defensive coach? Was it because I never hear it coming into the season?
I wasn't the one who made the comment that he was a defensive coach.
No, but you agreed with it. You said when he came to Chelsea, he's a defensive coach. So I am asking you, when did you discover that? Because when we were giving our predictions,
when he came to Chelsea and went back three, I've always been saying that Chelsea need to find a way to go 4-3-3. I've always been saying that. Maybe I haven't said it to you on this channel, but I've said it in Chelsea groups that we need to find a way.
We have a call online, so we're going to let the caller through. Owen Adam, good night, boss. Welcome.
Good night, boss. Big up everybody. James.
Up.
Solid one. Ryan, big up yourself. Alright, so for me, my favorite analyst is Kevin Swisher. And not just because I'm a college friend, but I think he brings something different to the show. And most really more here. Is really my second miss. And not because I'm a Liverpool fan too, but culturally, it also brings something different.
But Adla, my face like Kems link you one away and tell us to call and vote for you, man. Just a mess with you, man.
But for me, my favorite best or most memorable sports event this year is obviously the 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, I'm just trying to say it.
All right, fam. Respect for the call and continue supporting because I know that I see you almost every night. So continue supporting Sports Frenzzyy. Big up.
But also, I disagree with Kems and him or hypothesis saying that Liverpool might get 4 points. What if Liverpool get all 6 points?
Well,
But
that's true. But Adlam, what we're saying is that remember that COVID is wreaking havoc in England right now, so you have to factor in that as well. When you're saying that you guys will be good with Salah, Mane, and Keita, what if the case that COVID hit you, just like it did the other day when Van Dijk went down, Curtis Jones, and who was it again? I don't remember who was the other player that went down as well. So, what if a situation like that should arise?
if the situation do arise, yes, that is something. Yeah, what I can say. It might affect the team, but that can happen to any team. You have to City. Mahrez leaving, City can lose. City can lose Silva, who is in the best form in life now. And they get a dip all season really. So they can lose Silva and also get a dip. So Salah, the 3 man they're leaving right now with 2 key players leaving. It's 2 games. I think the team can manage them 2 games and the Carabao Cup time with them out and still be afloat winning maximum points. As I forgot for maximum points because you have to get 90 points to win this league this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that consistency, I think the hunger is there to win. This year, last year, them say we're the worst title defender, and they never factored on
the injuries that you guys had.
Yeah. I'm here Chelsea and Ryan, them know a cuss. And I complain about the injuries, but they have so many great excuses last year. That's the next thing. But to each is their one, is what I say. But right now, we're just we're pulling from Chelsea and we're closer to City. And come next year, we'll see who won out come here.
True, fam. Respect for the call and continue supporting. Big up.
Yo, man, I tell you,
the fees, I keep people in one away,
Honestly, I'm not talk to nobody, brother. But
just kidding, bro. Come on.
I know a joke, yeah, man. But hey, let me tell you a story about Adlam, right? Zin, me and Adlam play on the same cricket team for Georges. Zin, in my last season I played cricket for Georges. That was one of my poorest seasons. My mate Duck still my fool, brother. Zin, and may I tell you, when I met the bag of ducks, them, Adlam come to me and the man I say, boy, Aspal, you gotta worry yourself, brother. I saw it go sometime. I still believe in you. And I remember it up to this day because I know me better than ducks, brother. You see me? I know me better than ducks, and confidence is low and the man chat to me. You see me? So Adlam, big up yourself. I never ever forget that. Run the show. What did I say about Chelsea? We're done with Chelsea. We move on to United the 4th.
You're jumping it. Next up is Arsenal. Arsenal is next in line, and Arsenal are currently on 32 points from 18 games. They have scored 27 and they have conceded 23. Now you look at this team, Kims. They have been playing collectively good over the past couple of games, right? Now, when I look at them, people might say that Arsenal is missing a striker because Aubameyang is out of the team totally right now. Lacazette is just not it either. So what would you say Arsenal need? A striker, or you think they need more than just that?
All right. So me call him Crapazette, right? Me call him Crapazette. But if we really take a look on it, Lacazette, since Aubameyang has been out, Lacazette have actually not been that bad, obviously, he missed a penalty and all of that, but he has been improving. He has been playing some good, consistent football. That I like. The thing with Arsenal is that, obviously Arsenal has a really young team. Really inexperienced. But I believe that they're playing. Some good football. I believe that they're moving the ball. I believe that they're getting between the lines. They're getting in the spaces, and they're creating chances, right? And when it comes on the other side of the ball, defensively, Ben White have 1 or 2 mistakes in him. He'll always make those. But I think as a team, I don't see Arsenal as a top 4 team right now. I see them as a top 7 team. I think they can be finished somewhere in the top 7. Honestly, as a Manchester United / Aston Villa fan, Like I like watch Arsenal play football. Right? I like watching play football because they pass the ball nice, they move the ball around, and they work hard. So I have them as a top 7 team right now. Obviously, they need to make some tweaks in the team, get out the little old foot them, get out the indiscipline out of the team. Because we see Arteta try, form a team his way. You want some particular discipline and thing in the team. So, Arsenal good team. They'll finish top 7.
All right, so I guess Aldan saying that I will never complain about fixtures, injuries, or COVID before the season. Chelsea, I believe he's saying that Chelsea had a A and a B team, which we don't have to complain. Tuchel must show his tactics and win games. Ryan, you look at Arsenal now, right? Why do you say that this Arsenal team need right now, as it stands?
All right, so their goalkeeper is sorted, their back four is sorted. Their central midfield is a problem because Party, some of the time play like him just come from a party. Xhaka is a hit and miss player. He's a polarized player for some Arsenal fans like him, some don't. Their central midfield is El Neni. Nothing to say about him. Their central midfield is where is a problem. They can get that sorted. Well, the young guys are stepping up in terms of the attacking midfielder. The attacking midfielders, the Smith Rowe, Saka. Who else am I missing? Martinelli is playing well. I think they should use Martinelli as a striker though, going forward. I think they should use him as a striker. Give him a good run. You're giving Saka a run, and you're giving Smith Rowe a run. You can give Martinelli a run. So I think they should actually look at him as number 9. I think he's the future for them. I know they're going to go out and get somebody else still. And then we can play out wide, but yeah, I think they can look at him as an option. Pepe is a boss, obviously. Their bench, they have a good starting 8, but their bench is weak. If you really look at it that way. What else? They need a number 9. As I said, that I would try Martinelli as a number 9. Because he's very good at finishing. Some of them finishes there, they are crisp. Like the boy just knows how to finish. It's like when you see Greenwood finishing, it resembles that.
I was just a draft for the parallel and said he plays similar to Greenwood in a sense.
Yeah, the similarities are obvious. And so I think Arsenal, they have a good starting 8. Their bench is weak. There's nothing much to write about their bench. So once their main starters are fit and play, they will beat what they are supposed to beat. They are going to struggle or lose to the teams that are better than them, which can be anywhere between 3 to 7. Because right now I think Tottenham, Arsenal, Man U, who else again? Maybe 3 or 4 teams fighting for the 4th spot. So you can lose one game and it costs you 4th spot and you end up finish at 7th based on how tight I think that bunch of contenders for the 4th spot will be.
Correction, Ryan. Correction. The 3rd to 7th spot. Nobody exclude yourself. The 3rd to 7th spot. The 3rd and 4th spot.
I don't know where you're talking about. I don't know where you're talking about.
And so we have another call at 9, and it is a statistician. Man said voting can't go in the call in. So go ahead, stats man.
On my side. So in terms of who may vote for, can't vote for Kens. People are accusing me of nepotism. Kim's a boy one, but that will not be just too obvious right now. So probably as a viewer, may put my vote for Kens, but as a fellow analyst, I have to join Kens and vote for Devin. Devin is a ever-present for true, so I agree with him full 100% with his sentiments. So Mr. All-Round, I get it for me.
All right, in terms of sporting moment?
In my sporting moment, I can provide the really can't separate. I can provide you three. I'm calling my three inevitable.
Man, shoot them, man.
Three inevitable. So alien performance, especially almost breaking the record. Going 10:54 was.
Yeah. Correct.
And then Steph Curry confirming himself as the greatest shooter in history. In the Garden the other night. And then my third greatest or happiest have to be when he confirmed Ralph when him go Oli as United manager. That's so great. For a long time we didn't want to say that, but we couldn't stomach that anymore. We know me and Kings has been attached to that from ever since, but to be addressed at another time. But yeah, man, that is it.
Thank
Let's
God,
see
thank God.
that's big up yourself. But here's this guy that Tyrese put up in the comment. He said that Arsenal need Jonathan David. He has been doing well, and I believe his agent came out earlier today and said that this will be his last season at Lille. And again, Lille are just losing their players left, right, and center. But when he plays for the Canadian national team, he looks good. Whenever he plays for Lille, he has done well so far. So, Ryan, do you think that he would be a good fit for Arsenal based on his physicality and his pace?
Could be. I'm not exactly certain. I don't know. If he's better than Lacazette, then yes. But I don't know how his style would complement Arsenal's. I know he's young and Arteta wants young players and he's building a team around young, quick, skilled players. So I think the type of striker Arteta will want is somebody of that mold, which is why I've been clamoring for Martinelli to be given a shot there. So yeah, Jonathan David could be an option.
Okay.
It wouldn't be by. I wouldn't really have him on the top 5 list though, but he could be an option.
All right. So all right, Kims, do you think that this stuff for us will be too hot to handle for West Ham because we have to get to some other
Oh
teams?
yeah, West Ham. I forgot West Ham.
You think they are non-factor in this?
Yeah, man, the bigger, yeah, man, we're not even going to spend too long. But
good. All right, so next step.
Bigger than Sam.
All right, so just to let the viewers know.
You think Leicester can come back tonight?
No, sir.
So West Ham, they have played 17 games and they're currently on 28 points. Next up in 6th, and I really hope that we jump out of this position quickly because a couple of seasons ago they called us the 6th god. If we win, we're in 6th. If we lose, we're in 6th. If we draw, we're in 6th. I can't take those 6 jokes. So
by the way, just before you go any further, where Leicester is on how many points? Just want to know.
All right, so they're on 22 points.
Huh?
22.
Oh, so they're not really out of the race tonight.
No, and they have played 16, so they have 2 games in hand. So they're still winning that shot. But Man United, they have played 16 games. They're on 27 points. Those 2 games in hand, I know them off the top of my head. I know one is Brentford and the other one is Brighton. So Kems, in regards to Man United, top 4 or you think top 3?
Right now, if this coach don't get them to beat Chelsea, then this will be a failure because from Ole Getty's full seasons, Chelsea can't beat him. That's what I'll say in the standings, right? However, I think Manchester United will definitely make the top 4. I'll even give them top 3, right? They have a new manager bounce right now. Again, sometimes we can say Ole did this, Ole did that, but I think this manager has come in, have a particular structure, have a particular way that he wants to play. He's not dishing out hugs and love, as he have already told persons. If you want to leave, there is the door. Right, so we have a manager that come in. I call him the manager who wins every press conference because I will watch that man press conference every single day because it's very engaging. But obviously there is something that he wants to do on the football pitch. Obviously we've seen it in the first game, not so much the second game. But no, I think we get a little bit of time now where we can see those things being implemented. Hopefully we can get Pogba back soon because I think Pogba will work wonders. If he comes with the right mentality, I think he can flourish in this system for sure. And I think the fixtures that we have coming up, I think it is in Manchester United and this new coach's favor. And we are 2 games in hand, and if we win those 2 games, obviously we'll go above Arsenal. So top 4 is right there, but I don't think we can catch those 2 teams, City and Liverpool. But if we come third this season, I'll be okay with it. I'm not a big trophy guy because I believe trophy is an ego thing. So I'm not a big trophy guy, but I'm about progression. How are we progressing? How have we improved? And again, the first game we did well. The second game, we go back to some old bad habits. But those things happen in football. But I think he'll iron those out and get the team back on track.
Nothing to add to that, right, Ryan?
Yeah, man, of course. Kems need to focus on try coming fourth and stop focus on third. He's not getting a top 3 position. That is clear and obvious.
Okay.
The games just remember the 22nd of December. You can visit back this video and let me see.
Yep.
The particular cut that you should look for is at 1 hour 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, good. So the top 4 race is what you should be focusing on. The teams on his level are Tottenham, West Ham, and Leicester, and Arsenal. Those are the teams on Man U's level who they should focus on trying to beat in their little mini series, their little mini race. So whoever wins that race gets fourth. That is the prize, and that is your guys' level. You want me to talk about the team? It's growing pains right now in terms of what the coach is trying. He's teaching them his philosophy. So I think they got an extra week this week because they're not in any cup. So they will get a little more time to focus on.
They won't play until Monday.
26th. Yeah.
No, 27th.
27th. Okay.
Yeah, I guess Newcastle on Monday.
Okay, cool. Even better for them and learning the philosophy and all of that. So if they can get that down and get consistent result, then they can get the fourth spot.
All right, so the last team up there that we're going to look at before we just jump down to the football table is Tottenham, because Tottenham have played 15 games and they're currently on 26 points. So if they win all 3 games in hand, they will jump into the 4th spot and they will be just 3 points behind Chelsea. Now, look at this team, and I'm going to ask Ryan because Kent is going to give a biased opinion because he doesn't like Antonio Conte. So I'm just going to ask Ryan about it. Do you think Tottenham has what it takes, and in terms of the players that they have at disposal to get into that that 4th position?
All right. Let me be clear. 1 to 3, the top 3 teams right now, they are better than the rest. The best of the rest in terms of squad numbers, squad quality, and all of that. The other teams, the other 4 teams, the West Hams and those people, the Tottenhams, Man U and Arsenal, they are limited in a lot of positions. Tottenham is also one of those. So what Conte needs to focus on is to get Son and Kane up and running. I see he has been the Liverpool game proves that he's working on that in terms of getting them to get back that connection that they had. His wing backs, I know he likes Sessegnon. He came out and said like Sessegnon. So I expect Sessegnon to get games and Reguilon to rotate and so forth. Try to concede as less goal as possible. I know that is difficult with Dyer being a sweeper, and you have Sanchez around there with him as well. That is a difficult task with them two there. Hopefully Lloris don't sell much goals. Their midfield, I realize that he's going for wings, which is strange. But yeah,
part of the reason is because remember that Skip was out for a bit with COVID. So I think if
I know that. I know he favors Skip, but Wings also played very well against Liverpool because the little short pass that he normally like to do, I'm seeing him spreading the ball now and more progressive in his approach play. So guess he's getting through to him, so he may have a future again at Tottenham. And if he can get Wings to become the Wings that made England team again, especially with spraying longer passes because he's normally a short pass player. But if you can get him to play longer, more progressive passes, if you can get Ali to start play back football, I mean, maybe not to the Ali level that he was when he was 19, 20, 21, but closer to somewhat of a good rotational option, or even a starter, then he's going to have limited resources working with in terms of player quality. But once again, but then again, as I said with you before, the other teams that he's chasing for it with are in a similar situation. So he has a. It is going to come down to coaching. Who gets that first spot?
All right, so now we're going to take a look at the foot of the table, and I'm going to start with the team that is currently in last position, and that's Norwich. Norwich has played 17 games, and they're on 10 points. So it's right back down to championship, right?
I would go. I would say yes.
All right, so nothing much.
They are not out of it as yet, but they will eventually get there.
And then we have Newcastle, who's above them on the same points. And boy, it's surprising that you know that Newcastle has conceded more goals than Norwich.
Not surprised.
And they have also scored more. Oh, that's it. Yeah. They have scored more than, well, Newcastle has scored more than Norwich, but in terms of what they have conceded, boy. You look at it and you know that they now have the money to buy players, and it is said that they're going to give Eddie Howe a huge chunk of cash to spend in the January transfer window, but it hasn't started off good for him as yet, because first up they were after the player from Lyon, the Brazilian Lucas Paqueta, and they made a 35 million pound bid for him, and it was knocked back by Lyon, said that he's not for sale. So he hasn't started off well. So do you think that Eddie Howe can get this team to escape the draw?
He's a good coach. He can, but I don't think he will.
Okay. So he said that.
And again, I don't know who he's going to get, but if he can get the players that he worked with before, the Ryan Fraser and who else again? Who did have there before with him? The players we have know about. If he can get them to, and if he can get
that has been playing wing back, Matrici. Yeah, those three.
Matrici, yeah. Matrici too?
Yeah.
Okay, and I know that he likes Shelby, so he just has to work with what he has and try to see how best he can get them to play. Because I don't think he's going to get much quality in this January window. It remains to be seen though, but let us see.
True. All right, next up, I'm looking at Burnley. They have played 15 games, so they have 3-0 and they're on 11 points. You know that over the years, we have seen Sean Dash has this team in some position, and with some weirdness towards it, he ended up getting them surviving. Do you think that he will pull up a miracle this time around, or you think that again the mountain is high for him?
It's not inconceivable for him to get them out, but it's going to be a struggle this year more than any other year. But it's not inconceivable.
I disagree. You know why? When I look at the two teams that are yes, right above them, in Watford, who have played 16, that's one game more than them. They have 13 points. You look at Leeds, so at this point in time, Leeds can't keep a defender fit and they can't keep a midfielder fit right now. And they're played 18 and they're 16 points. So if Burnley win those 3 games in hand, Burnley will now go up to 19 points, and that would be 11 points with Everton if Everton doesn't get any more.
Notice I say if.
If, yeah, that's a big if, because we don't know if they will, because they haven't been playing good. But if there's one thing that we have come to know about this coach over the past seasons, he has been able to get them out of the slump. And as I said, when I look at Watford and Leeds, it's not a case as if these teams are playing in football either. So you see, if it was a scenario where these teams were actually playing football and they were losing, you could say, okay, they might turn a tide in and they might just turn the corner around there. But that's not happening. They're playing awful and they have been beaten. So it's not totally out of the reach of Sean Dash to get them to survive.
No, I'm not saying it is out of his reach. I'm just saying that he might find it a little bit more difficult this season than previous seasons.
Mm-hmm. But if you were to say the three that you think that would go down, who would those three be right now?
Norwich, right now, Newcastle, Watford, right now. Subjected to change, but right now.
I would. I think Newcastle is going to stay up. For some reason, I want to have some belief and think that Eddie Howe will actually.
I like Eddie as a coach, but I don't know. It's just about who he'll get in January. January will determine if he can stay up or not.
Yeah, that is what I would wait on as well. But as for
But
me,
though, I think it is personally, I think it is better if him go down than stay up for his job security. Because if him stay up, him going to have money to spend and the expectations going to be a lot more. Whereas if him go down, might give him a chance to bring them back up and all of that.
but you know that they're not going to allow that to happen, knowing that they have money.
Yeah, but if you go down, what are you going to do?
That's why I'm saying they would probably sack him before if the performances don't improve
Well,
quickly.
that is also true, yeah. Yeah.
Because remember that we're not talking about a club that is broke or has to just say, here what, so if we suck him, we have to pay up this amount of money. They're really concerned about that. So they can suck him at any given minute and know that they won't suffer any losses really. So
Yeah.
I just hope that he turned the corner and they actually stay up, because I like Eddie Howe. I really like that coach. And Newcastle, we know that Newcastle is one of those teams that has been one of the traditional teams in EPL. So we like to see them stay up, but boy, it's a mountain to climb for him and it's tough. But you're a winner. Do you think that City will hang on and just carry it right through from now till the end of the season, or you think that someone will usurp?
Well, they take the lead, and man, when City take the lead, they hold it. It was like Mourinho back in his prime when he took the lead, he don't let it go. Like when alligator hold on for something, or a pit bull hold something, and you try to take it from them and then hold it the same way. That is City with the lead. So I wouldn't be surprised if they hold on to the end of the season.
Facts. But any other topic that you want to touch on quickly before we close?
The Ashes, I said that England was going to, they are looking at a 5-0. Steve Simmons said they are going to look to give them a 5-0, but he's taking it one game at a time. As I said, England is basically just Joe Root or bust. Joe Root, and that Stokes will come good, and
Malan
no one again is seem like he's learning test cricket now at the age of 34. So apart from those, there's nobody. And I said to somebody today, maybe they need to go back to the days when they pick three keeper and use two as batsmen, because the batsmen they're picking are not good.
So are you getting at that they should choose Bairstow?
Bairstow and Bess. Remember that? I think it was a West Indies series. The series we beat them out here. They had three of them, and two were batsmen, one was a keeper. So they couldn't even go back to that because the batsmen are.
Hold on, who was the other keeper?
Bess, Dominic Bess.
No man, Bess is a spinner, man.
Hold on, not Dominic Bess. Sorry.
Ben Foakes is the player.
Ben Foakes. That's the name I'm trying to remember. Yeah, man, Foakes. Because he has a good first class average. I think 40 and maybe 50.
Yeah, and it did well in some concrete earlier in the season. So I can see where you're getting at. Because
man. So they can use
Hamid at the top, scratchy. Burns at the top, scratchy.
Huh?
I'm saying Burns, the two openers are very scratchy.
Yeah, very. Burns make a 30, I'd say, might get a next game. The other one, the Indian guy, Hamad, him not. I don't see what he's good at. Number 3, Malan, 4, Root. Number 5, Stokes, obviously. Number 6, Pope, scratch him. But I mean, I don't think they will avoid. At best, I said they might get a 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to try and do damage control right now. So I think they should just go back to the days of say, all right, these guys can bat, let me just play them bat. Let me just play them as a batsman. mind the fact that they are wicket keepers. They can bat. And if
Yeah, that
something
is
happens
true.
in the
And
change,
then, again, even if you look at cricket over the
and
past,
Bears can feel in the slips. So that was never a problem.
well, I'm saying now, even if you look at it over the past couple years, you have seen that it's more limited over, but teams have been picking like 3 batsmen in their team that are wicket keepers, right? Because even West Indies case the other day, remember that they had Puran, they had Hope, and all these guys.
Mhm.
I think it was India at one point, they had like 2 keepers in their lineup as well. England in the limited overs, they have Bairstow and they also have Butler. So I
Well, as I
mean,
said, more limited over. You don't really see it in tests.
yeah, that's true. But I mean, they could try because what they have been using hasn't been working. So
We have done it before, so why not? What is there to lose? You're already losing.
I agree. But here is Owen Green saying that the 3 teams that he expect to go down. Well, here it is. The 3 teams that they expect to go down will be Norwich, Watford, and Burnley. Here's Owen Adlam saying that he expect Norwich, Watford, and Burnley to go down as well. So, boy,
I see something today that if Ralph don't get to your top four, he won't keep the job. What job? He won't be an advisor.
it doesn't matter where Ralph finish. Ralph will be the advisor at Man United.
Okay, because that's something I was wondering what that means. Because he won't
Man
get the
already
job.
signed
But
the contract.
exactly.
That's
Anyway,
foolish.
so,
It's more a case of probably the job as the coach because it's depending on what he does. If they want him to be the coach of the team going forward, he will take up the role. He said it,
If Ralph is smart, he takes the advisor job.
and I think you as fans, like Chelsea fans and the rest of fans, would hope that he stay on as a coach because whenever he goes into that advisory role, that is where he'll be at his best in terms of the damage that he can do.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's why I said if he's smart, he takes the advisor job.
Uh,
Because coaches like Ralph, they don't last long at clubs as coach.
Especially with the age.
Not only the age, the type of figure he is. He's a demanding figure, like a Conte type figure. You
Yeah,
don't last at major clubs like this.
true. But this is where we're going to call it a night on the show. Thanks to everyone for being here, and I'll just go ahead and announce the Sports Frenzy Analyst of the Year. Kems finished at top, and Kems has been the Sports Frenzy Analyst of the Year. Kems got 8 votes. Shakes was in second on 3. Then you have Devin who was on 2. Rowan got 1. And Ryan got 1. So that's the harder how the Sports Frenzy Analyst voters voted for you guys. So once again, congrats to Kems for being the Sports Frenzy Analyst of the Year. Some people said that you bring the controversy to it, and that's why they gravitate towards you. While Wally called and said that sometimes what Ali said is just water through a funnel, but every now and then he brings up some solid points. But congrats again to all the gents. And personally, for me, my sports friends analyst of the year has been every one of you guys that come here every night with me. Y'all are sports friends analyst of the year in my
The one
estimation.
prize, the Kem's prize.
Kim's not worry about that, man.
You know where Mr. Ox. Clarity, we call it accountability or whatever it called.
Man, don't worry yourself, man. Kim's will decide what his price will be. I'll allow Kim's to do that. But
And just bet ticket.
go again,
Well, just bet ticket.
even if it's that. But as I said, congrats to all of you guys, man. We couldn't have done this without you, and we just continue to grow from strength to strength. I just want to say thanks to everybody that took the time out to vote for you guys, and thanks to our producer Josh Call make this possible. Thanks to Ryan, who's still here with me. Thanks to Kim, who was here earlier, and thanks to Devin, who was here earlier, and also to all you, the viewers. Thanks again, and keep on supporting Sports Frenzy. And before you leave, if you haven't done so as yet, ensure that you like the video. Until tomorrow, take care of yourself and enjoy the rest of your night.
Blessings.